388 Barclay Street is a collection of 11 sustainable apartments within an adaptive reuse of a circa 1930s brick warehouse. With densification of inner suburban areas an increasingly critical component of good city making, Barclay Street aimed to create a generous and high quality variation of multi-residential housing that could offer an attractive alternative to the suburban family home. As part of our early research, we questioned what an ethical approach to for-profit apartment development could look like to produce homes with great amenity, proximity, generosity, and craft. Breathe Architecture were recruited as collaborators, and we focused on a design process that would deeply consider community, occupants, and environment. The extended project team included Finding Infinity and Freighter Consulting Services for ESD consultancy within a broader team of engaged and values-aligned consultants. Located at the west end of Barclay Street, the project's part of the important densification of the Upfield Rail Corridor. The site is in close proximity to existing activity hubs, pedestrian and cycling networks, as well as Princess and Royal Parks, dual train station, and nearby trams and buses. It's located within the neighbourhood residential zone and the mandatory height limit of 9 metres, and it has a heritage overlay. Main pedestrian and bicycle access is from Barclay Street to the north, with car access from the Spurway Lane to the rear. From the earliest design discussions, the design was informed by surrounding historic housing, including the apartment widths and the layouts, and and window articulation. The building was originally a textile factory, and using it largely intact helped us to reduce waste to landfill and the embodied carbon in the project, as well as continuing on with its narrative as a cohesive part of this area. So the massing strategy: massing insertion into the shell, reduction in height for the 9 metre height limit, upper floor setbacks pushed in to avoid overlooking and keep it in line with a previous town planning permit. Voids are inserted at the north and south ends to create private open space, and centrally with a sunken planted open air atrium. Smaller voids were inserted to create natively planted light wells, and together they allow light amenity, passive ventilation to 90% of the apartments, and solar heat gain to all apartments, as well as connection to native vegetation and large areas of deep bed planting. Internally, there's also double height void spaces to the 2-storey apartments that introduce sectional play and help to bring light deeper into the plan, which is confined by the heritage shell. There's a number of sustainability features. I won't go through all of them, but some of the key ones are designed for 8 waste streams, 40 kilowatt solar array, centralised hot water, and all electric appliances. The project has a NATHERS score of 7.5. So I'll take you through the ground floor plan. So the entry foyer and the 2 ground floor apartments are at the front of the site. This is the entry foyer, entry boardwalk, with a compressed view through to the central courtyard, which is visible from the street. And the courtyard will start to grow into something much more lush. Sorry, I can't see very well. The bike storage. There's a 27 bicycle gallery with bike repair facilities, which is centrally located and is a visible part of the development, which was a conscious decision and part of the entry sequence. The central atrium space. Previously, the site was occupied by a fully roofed warehouse with no landscaping at all, and the completed project introduced a total of 114 square metres of predominantly native planting, which includes 50 square metres of deep bed planting. The waste room, storage rooms, plant room, car park with EV chargers to every car park, and an underground rainwater tank. The rain bench was a collaboration with local artists BMDO. Upstairs on the first floor, central atrium and circulation provides an interconnected space that all the apartments open out onto. There's excellent cross ventilation through 90% of the apartments, and certainly all the apartments up at the first floor. The fins provide privacy and lateral sun control, and they also help to clarify the form and draw attention to landscaping. There's also optimized sun shading to all northern windows. And the final design has areas of fins and areas of wire trellis so that there's climbers, so that climbers can occupy the facade, which is starting to happen. Just zooming in on apartments 4 and 5. Some of the key points are the void space, multiple areas of landscaped terrace and courtyard, as well as carefully placed skylights. One of the things to note is the layering of views through the space and the richness that the existing brick facade provides, and the lovely views out to street through the existing penetrations. The material palette is restrained.
2 minutes.
Cool, thanks. It's a restrained material palette. All the timber is FSC certified, and all the materials are low VOC. Terrazzo was selected in place of porcelain tiles to help reduce embodied energy in the project. Skylights, there's views to sky from lots of parts of the project, and connections to vegetated outdoor areas from all bedrooms. The joinery benches are provided for informal seating as well as additional storage. In the single-story apartments around the sides, just some key points are landscape courtyards and terraces as well as skylights. The landscape courtyards have there's thermally broken windows through the project. We also try to use timber windows as a way to reduce the amount of high embodied aluminium, and the light wells provide outlook from all bedrooms. And 3-bedroom apartments to the rear, again with a centrally located void, joinery window seats, terrace, and skylights to the void and bathrooms. This is the centrally located void. And charming views out from 2nd-story bedrooms to neighbouring Brunswick. And finally, every time so this is the rear lane entry at Spurway Lane. Every time we visit the apartments, we bump into one of the residents. It might be Francesca or Suzanne. They always tell us how much they love it. I think you can see that the ivy is already starting to take over, and it's really starting to bed back into the neighbourhood. Thanks.